Okay, so for part 2 of our cheese notes, we're going to start with cheese grading. Again, I apologize for any background noise or coughing. I apologize for that. The U.S. Department of Agriculture is the group that defines standards and maintains the quality of cheese. They have very distinct categories that each cheese must meet qualifications for. For instance, those categories are flavor, texture, appearance, and color. Now, here's just, let me get the right one here. Okay, this is the USDA website, and this is showing the standards for cheddar cheese. Now, each type of cheese would have these standards, but like we said, they have to meet standards for flavor, texture, color, and appearance. And I'm not going to go through all those, but it is just kind of neat to see, look at all the qualifications that they have to go through just to be called cheddar cheese. And then there's, grade A, grade B, and what it'd mean for each of those categories. Buying and storing, always look at the sell-by date or the expiration date on the package. Some ripened cheeses can be stored past the sell-by date. This is just a question-answer thing, but I thought they did a really good job of, it's on What's Cooking America. I thought they did a really good job of answering this question very easily, very quickly. Hard cheese, okay, like ripened cheese, that has a section of mold on it. You can just cut it off, cut a little bit around it, and then you can eat the rest of it. Cheese made with mold, like Roquefort or blue cheese. It talks about discarding the soft cheese if they contain molds. Some of the other ones, it just kind of depends. Soft cheeses like cottage cheese, cream cheese, those you discard them if there's any kind of mold on them. Those are an unripened cheese and you shouldn't keep them. Yogurt and sour cream as well, even though they're not cheeses, you should discard as well. So I thought that was just a really quick answer to that question in each category. But cheese is highly perishable. Always keep it tightly wrapped. If you don't wrap it tightly, it can get the air to it, especially the ripened cheese, and get hard in sections. Now, you technically can just cut it off, but it is wasteful, so wrap it tightly. You can freeze cheese. Typically, you should shred it before you before you freeze it, because if not, what happens when you freeze a block of cheese and then thaw it and go to cut it is the texture changes. It gets all crumbly. And so get it into a smaller portion size before you freeze it, and then it should work fine. Serving of cheese, ripened or aged cheese is best served at room temperature. In fact, you'll notice that if there's a cheese presentation or a cheese party, it's a little bit more warm, and it comes out of the fridge about 30 minutes before they serve and cut it. And that's ideal. The unripened cheese, like cottage cheese, is always served chilled unless it's baked into a dish. That's not desirable at room temperature. Problems to avoid when cooking with cheese. Avoid tough and stringy cheese. So when you're cooking cheese, you should heat it just till it's melted. Also, when you're cooking with cheese, you need to get it into smaller portions. The more surface area of cheese that's exposed to that heat, the more accurately and the quicker and easier it will melt. So shred it, cut it, grate it, get it smaller. You don't just throw a whole block of cheese in a pan. So this little link right here is like a 45-second video that shows how they melt cheese in the microwave. And it's just kind of showing how you get it small and don't cook it very long. If you're trying to lower the fat in a recipe containing cheese, 2 very simple options are use a lower fat cheese or a sharp flavored cheese. And the sharp flavored cheese, like a sharp cheddar as opposed to a mild cheddar, that sharp flavor you can use less, but still get a very strong flavor of cheese. And that can kind of help reduce that fat. And then, like we said, when you're microwaving cheese, it will get very hot. The high fat content of cheese attracts those microwaves, so it will cook very quickly. In fact, you can even take it out of the microwave when it's not fully melted because the heat is trapped in that fat and it will continue to melt as it sits there. All right, we will come back with nutritional content and then we will be done with this unit.